Hello traders, good weekend and good week ahead. This is the weekly forecast and weekly review for the week starting on 22nd of January 2017. Last week we saw many zigzags, many moves that reacted immediately to the opposite directions, and that's basically what we have had. It started up, down, down, up again. And it was on most of the pairs, even on the pound dollar, which was beautiful, flying up after Theresa May's speech. That's what happened right after that. So we can see that it was almost everywhere, and um, this kind of moves, it's very hard to trade. That's what I'm trying to say, and that's fine because I show you that and I tell you that just for one reason. Remember that the very good things and the healthy moves we all want to catch and to trade develop. So it takes time until the cycles develop, and it takes time until things going the way we want. And it's very tempting to jump in on a running move, but everyone does not want to get stuck inside a range coming after that. Take a look on all the pairs and you will see. So that's basically what we've had, and it's time to remember that such weeks with zigzags happen. We should not run away from them. We should deal with them. That's part of that. And yet, the great opportunities are ahead of us, and they are forming and they are building. And let's go over them and catch what we could. So let's start with the euro dollar, which was still after buys for the long run, according to all the cycles we have, monthly and weekly cycles. On the 4-hour chart, we got double cycle up already here. We might get now after this range for triple cycle to this area somewhere, and basically from there I would expect for some deeper correction before it continues to go higher. So for us the plan was and will remain, we want to try to buy the bottoms. We might get a kind of a range here since we've had two false breaks in a row there. We might go deal with this range right now, something like that. We will want to try to buy the bottom. The alternativity is if we keep the rally with the breakout here, we can always try and trade versus the trend line. Now, Trump yesterday, Friday, I record this video on Saturday, we saw Trump's inauguration, and basically the dollar should lose the power of it in the beginning. That's the reaction I would expect. Trump said not once that it's impossible that our dollar is so strong compared to other currencies. That's kind of maybe kind of a hint on the things to come, and I think we basically would want to go and join it. That's why this support is a great place for us to try and go try long versus the bottoms here, trying to get the rally maybe for the third wave up, and this is basically the high where I would expect it to go and cross. This is the one, of course. That's where I think the action to the downside would probably start. So as for now, in the short term, buy retraces, we are going higher probably. Pound dollar, same story. Yesterday, this week with Theresa May's speech, we got the pound dollar do what we wanted, completing the false break. As it has a monster candle, and we can summarize. Yeah, it's still possible that we will get lower lows. That's something to remember. But on the longer view, with the pound dollar, we are after buys. This pair is under bullish pressure, and we want to get involved into buys. Every two waves down or bottom of the range, and we are after buys. So what could start here is something like that as well, and then a fly up, or some kind of a range here, and then a continuation. For us, we want to get involved, and every drop down for us is a buy opportunity. Investment is of course ideal, but everything here is really healthy, correct, and we will want to trade it. The targets I would be looking to go with for the pound dollar, this double cycle. First of all, then we have the gap, and then the 145, which would be the triple cycle down here, correction to the 50. That's actually even higher. So it's a very, very interesting opportunity, and that's everywhere. I believe the pound Canadian is going to be monster as well, and we need to look for the buy opportunities. We got here double cycle, every 2 waves down, wherever we get them, okay? We don't need to rush. Wherever we get this moving, we are going to look for buys. That's a monster opportunity which we should probably go with. There is still gap to get closed at over than 1,000 pips, and that's amazing opportunities which we should pay attention to. Euro pound, same story, still doing the range scenario, still holding that. As we saw, we had a very interesting kicker this week. We got a head and shoulders here, double cycle rally blocked with the bearish hidden divergence. We got this trend line currently, you see, which was broken and might go and get retested, maybe even a failure of the trend line. On the 4-hour chart, we got the convergence, and now it's dancing in kind of a range. So basically, as long as this top holds, every rally should be considered a sell opportunity. So even if it goes suddenly for something like that, we still should be looking for possible buys, as long as this top holds. If this top does not hold, we are going to look for possible triple cycle correction and take us to the 161 expansion of this cycle. That's also a possibility. So we will see how it goes, but for us, look only for sell opportunities. And in terms of statistics, let's have a look. Where do we stand? Euro pound for tops. Basically, we got it from the last weekend. Now we still have great days for tops. We are yet under bearish pressure. We can see that everywhere. Pound Aussie with this monster candle, pound Kiwi. But the ones I have mentioned before, they are somehow maybe the best opportunities, which I believe it's good to go with. Now let's take a look on the other things we have. Canadian dollar CAD reverse from the bottom, creating a false break here, and now having a possibility maybe to get us into triple cycle here. This kind of move. We are still for the long run. We still will be under bearish views, of course. It's a bit tricky to trade this one specifically because from one side on a daily chart we had the convergence here and we keep creating lower lows. On a short term, I believe we should get going lower, and this kind of false break we had might provide us the opportunity to sell. So I would be looking to join this sell if we can get below this low, correct, and 2, and then we get the breakout. I would be trying this sell definitely. This should be small risk opportunity and huge probability, and this is why I start to like it. If we keep going higher and create new highs, we would be looking for new highs to form with the next divergence before we are after sells. So as for now, that would be my setup there. CAD franc following the same, and basically the attempt. I was in this buy here, and now it's end with break even. So we start to re-watch for the levels. We might get it on the 100. We might get it to 161.8. But let's summarize that. As long as the lower we go, the better the buy would be, because the monthly cycle, this triple cycle we have, is monster buy. and the further, the lower we can get it now, the better the buy would be after that. So as for now it goes, let it go. There is no divergences. Once the divergence developed, we are going to attack the buys and we are going to attack it full power. Remember, we have this possibility of 100. We're currently around the 61.8, so we could see bounces. We might get the 100. We might even go to this area. Once we get the divergence completed, we are going to get the attacks there. On each of the levels, we are looking for false break, higher highs, retraces, and we start to collect. Remember, safest way to trade, and that's a good one, of course. What's that? No clue. Cat franc, if we take a look on the bottoms, right, we have Monday as a very possible date for bottoms. And if this is not going to stop now on these days, the beginning, actually the few days after the beginning of the next month, that's where we are going to look for buys. So definitely possibility. Forming, we want to be there. Watching on the supportive areas, let's have a look here. We can find very, very strong levels right here as well. Okay, and that's weekly one, daily, 4-hour chart. Very, very powerful days. Okay, days and levels. So keep an eye on this one, definitely interesting. Let's continue then. Why is here? Okay. Now one I love very, very much, that's Kiwi versus the Canadian. This is the one, and it has a monster level. I'm only after buys due to this double cycle we've had from the weekly and the convergence we got. So for me it's only sells. Now it's forming some kind of bearish hidden divergence here. We could still climb it higher, but I'm only after sells. 4-hour chart, by ideal, we would get some kind of rally here, dancing on this cycle, some false breaks around, and we are going to try the sells. So basically, get ready for possible sells. If it holds this high, great. We are going to look for this kind of setup, 2 waves correction, and here we are going to look for false breaks, lower lows, and reversals for sell on lower time frames, of course. Watching for this opportunity and the targets accordingly to the weekly convergence we've had, and we are going with this cycle first of all, and then according to the weekly cycle. Okay. Next one on the list is going to be the dollar yen, which was doing what we wanted, what we expected, and this was the setup we have been talking about. I wanted it to be honest a bit lower, around 112, but the bounce happened before. Still correct, still a rally, but the question is what's next, and I would not deal directly with the dollar yen currently. I would pay attention on the euro yen, Kiwi yen, Swiss yen maybe for this possible scenario. If we can get this last high with the divergence to form, we are going to get an amazing sell opportunity, and that's what I would be trying to go with. But as for now, we are still inside a range, which means this area, which is the top of the range, still could use us as a possible sell opportunity. And if we go to the 1-hour chart, we can see it might go and create for us some kind of special cycle with short-term sell opportunities during the week. So we have to keep an eye here in terms of days. Okay, we don't have nothing starting now. We have the beginning of the week for a potential top to be created. So we might get the reversal I was referring to, and if not, we go through to the end of the month, 28, and the beginning of the next month. So basically, if it doesn't happen with the beginning of this week, we are going to climb higher to the same 125 up to 128 zone I have been talking about long time ago. And that could be an amazing opportunity. And that's basically everywhere. CAD Yen, also with this double cycle, still doing the divergence. I still want to see the pair creating for me the false break convergence principle and start the rally. I have the patience. Bottom line. Kiwi Yen also technically has all the reasons to start the move down for second leg. We had double cycle correction, and let's see how we go from here. Break of the trend line could be great sign for continuation. So we keep an eye on the yen pairs for possible drop down on the beginning of the week, and if it does not happen now, we're going to wait for one more final leg up on all of them to make the correction down. Now one great opportunity forming, that's the euro yen, still holding the bottom, and as long as it's holding the bottom, I would be looking only for buy opportunities here. Only if it breaks below that, I would give up on the short term. And here why? On the 4-hour chart, we got a bounce from 161.8. Have a look here. 161.8 of the cycle. Here or here, doesn't matter how you measure. We got false breaks, we got the convergence. So now, while this bottom holds, we are after buy opportunities, and that's basically what I would expect here. Something like that to happen. We have this trend line. Whenever we get closer to that, that should use us as a great buy opportunity, and we have to keep an eye here. Really looks good. New Zealandian dollar dancing around the daily top. It has some pressure. 4-hour chart false breaks, right? With followed with divergence, of course. So we are after sells here, and as long as this top holds, so we can get climb here, false break, lower lows. This will be the false break, lower lows, rally, and we will be after sell. That should affect on all the Kiwi pairs. Aussie Kiwi, we keep holding the buys, no change here. The way it could go is anything like that, or alternatively 2 waves down here before the deep continuation. The buy direction remains on. We want and we stick on after buys here. Aussie dollar approaching to the sell zone. It's already on the sell zone, to be honest. This is the one I referred to, 1, 2, and we're dancing in a 3. And now it's creating false breaks. I still want to get below this area before to go for sells. If we keep climbing, we are going to wait for the 161.8 of this one, which is just slightly higher. Here somewhere, false breaks, and we are after sells. If we put the line of the triple cycle, this is where we are heading. 1, 2, 3. So that's still under very powerful pressure for the sells. We want to see this correction down, and we want to join the buys due to the weekly analysis. Every drop down, buy, buy, buy. Okay, that's the bottom line here. No other choice. And same with one of my favorites, Aussie franc. It's amazing opportunity. You take 2 waves down and buy heavy according to this cycle, monthly and weekly cycles. We are going up. Every drop down, buy, buy, buy. It's really amazing opportunities. Bottom line, that's what it is about, and that's where we should be looking at. S&P and Dow Jones do nothing currently, just dancing around the tops. I would not be surprised if we get the continuation further now with new president, which should be good for the stock market, at least at the beginning. We'll see how it goes. It's really tricky. And this one is the one I want to try and grab the opportunity. One more push. I want to go buys here. We got 2 waves now forming. So if we can get below the trend line, we can get the second wave down and then start to look for the buy opportunities. That's silver, gold, basically is doing the same. And of course my analysis is relevant as long as this top holds, because if it will not hold, it all will be a bit of different view. So 2 waves down to complete, and we are looking for buys. That's all for this week, friends. A lot of charts. Remember, it takes time until the things cook the right way, and even if we sometimes face boarding opportunities, some fake moves, that's part of trading. We don't need to run away of that. We don't need to think there are solutions to avoid that. Don't fight it, just accept it and minimize your activity and your risks during these weeks. There is really no reason to force, to think we can force our wishes on the market. The market will do whatever it has to do. And if we will learn to respect that and give it the right time to prepare the things for us and wait for these opportunities, then we can start trade like real professionals. Impatience and the wish to be involved everywhere on every single opportunity is a very, very serious enemy of every trader. Remember that, guys, and work on the mental part. Thank you very much for your time watching this video. I wish you a wonderful week, and I'll see you with the daily forecasts and further updates. Yours, Vladimir Ribakov.